right, all right. Look like I'm alone, but that's all right. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Um, my live chat was, I mean, uploading, not uploading, but going live. I was having problems with my site, and I couldn't get it right. So I'm here now. Um, and I would say, Shalom, Shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High, Ahia has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Just coming with a very short message. I'm not going to be long. Um, I was trying to go live on some information that I had read in the biblical, and it was kind of a higher, pretty much trying to support me in what I was viewing today, and I thank him for that. And I got an opportunity to read and read and read and see. I mean, it's really like he's giving me a comfort to know and assure me that these things need be. And these things that's happening and going to happen, it need be. Okay. And that I'm not to allow my feelings and my emotion get the best of me, because easily can you do that. Let your emotions and your feelings get the best of you. You have to make sure you stay in the line of spirit and truth, so that your flesh don't get its self in the way. So you have to learn to kick that flesh to the curb until it gets more and sit down. And I just thank the Most High. And I was saying earlier how I was looking at the movie on Netflix called Who Killed Malcolm X. And after I did my video, I got off. I think I watched about 6 parts to the series. 6, I think 6. I viewed 6 different parts of it, and it it was really uplifting, but yet it was hurtful. And I had to get a hold of myself for it's my emotions, because what are you getting all bent out of shape, Deborah? What is all that about? Uh, aren't you the one that I've taught this to? Get back in line. Get back in line. This is just confirmation, helping you to embrace the reality of what you've been saying to these people on this ever platform. Now you seeing it, as like I was saying in my live that I couldn't get set up. The rabbit hole is not deeper; it's beyond deep. It goes very far, and it's broad. It's wide. So therefore, don't get caught up in the reality of things that has taken place. He said that is what he was wanting me to understand in its fullness. Now, I always understood that which was in the light shall come to, that which was in the dark shall come to the light in the last days. I'm okay with that. But it's just when it come to the light. Are your flesh ready, Deborah? Come on now. When it come to the light, embrace it. You already have gotten the confirmation. You got the fullness therein. You just embrace it. Keep it running. Stay on the track. Stay in your lane. Keep running to the finish line. Because there's nothing you can say, do, think, feel, act, show that's going to change that which was, that which is, and that which shall be in the days to come. Hello, everyone in the live chat. It's good to see you. So I did get kind of kind of emotional over that movie because it was confirmation. It was what I was already taught. It was already what I have read. It was already what I have behold and I have seen in this day and time. So it's like he's saying, this is just a confirmation to help Sister Deborah understand the rabbit hole is deeper than deep, and it's broad, it's wide. Okay, so when they're trying to make you think that it's not as deep as it is, it is. Okay, and it goes a long ways. So I'm like listening to this and seeing a lot of it that was taking place even before I was born, and then when I was a little bitty baby. And I'm like listening to all this, and I'm like, but wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all. This sound like the same people that's cutting up on the floor up today. This is the same action. He said, but didn't I tell you? Didn't I show you? Didn't you learn this in the wilderness, Deborah? It's just, woo, I just thank him for that endurance. I'm telling you, because without it, I don't know where I would be. And then he gave me Ezekiel. I was in Ezekiel 36, and he backed me back up into Ezekiel 7, chapter 7, chapter 8. And I said, hold up, Father, y'all. Here it is again. Here it is again, Father, y'all. He said, yes, more comfort, more, so you can understand that these things that you're actually telling these people, this stuff is real. This been going on. This is not new. This is stuff that's been going on. I saw way back in the biblical times, Deborah, in the ancient times. So when everybody's seeing it today, he says a lot of people are not going to be able to handle it. And there are many that are fully aware, but they turn on the dark side, and they decided to live on the dark side because they can't handle it. So they just go on living on the dark side. So today, that's all I'm coming on so we can talk. But if it's any questions that you have, or maybe you have the answers. Maybe you have the answers. But it's a lot of things that actually are, if you have any questions, and if you have anything you want to ask, or you want to discuss something, let us do that. Let's take out that time this evening to do just that. But yep, I end up all the way from Ezekiel 7 all the way up to Ezekiel 12, because he was getting so good. I was like, okay, this is it, this is it, this is it. Okay, let me tell you all what turned into touching my emotions today. Just watching the Who Killed Malcolm X. What I saw behind scene, which I shouldn't really discuss that with you all, but I'm to the point, it's all finished. It's all vain and vax. It doesn't matter, because I can sit here and talk for 20 million years. Guess what? Not one might get it. And y'all say it's okay. He said, how do you think that I sent all those prophets? All those that I've sent on my behalf spoke on my behalf. They didn't listen to them. So don't get bent because nobody's not listening to you. That's the routine when it comes down to me trying to get something over to people. And I'm trying to say something to people, say it the most high. So don't be bent. You're on the right side. Just stay in your lane, meaning my lane that I run in. Stay in that lane. Don't get into them other lanes because, don't get involved. So when I was watching this here movie, Who Killed Malcolm X, I realized how, and let me tell y'all a very important secret that he told me. I got off the couch and went into after I did the video, I came into the kitchen, went to my Bible, and I started reading. Okay, that's when I went into Ezekiel 36, put Ezekiel 36 down, went back into the Ezekiel 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But let me tell you what he told me. He said, you never really tripped mean stumbled on the fact that why they don't want women to speak. When he told me that, I was like, what? Where did that come in? You know, I was like, what? Where did that come in? He said, women have a different heart, okay? They're not about hiding things, hiding truth. They're not too geared up to speaking lies. So they know that if you all get a hold of that book and be teachers, you all going to teach righteousness. You all going to teach what you actually see. And he is so 100 because here I go. I'm sitting here watching this movie and I'm like, wait a minute now. I'm seeing behind seeing. I'm hearing and I'm seeing. I'm understanding what they said and behind what they said. And you know what else I said? I said, they lucky I wasn't living in that day. I know I've been a dead sister. That's what I said. I said, Father, they lucky I wasn't living in that day. I've been a dead sister. And I was going on and basing it on what I could understand behind what they were saying. Now, there were a guy, which was, he was likened to like a scientist, but he's doing the study of going deep into who killed Malcolm X, okay? And as he's going deep into that, and he's all onto that, even though he was covering who killed Malcolm X, I was covering, oh, Father, our black men is messed up from the floor. That's all I could think of. All I could think of was Ezekiel 36:19. All I could think of was all this time I'm reading this Bible and I'm hearing Ahia talk about men, the tribe of Judah and the house of Israel and all the sin and the abomination and the murdering and the whoring and the stiff-necked, the rebellion and the disobedient and the idling. And I'm like, wow. Before I was even born, it was at a high. You know, I'm like, wait a minute. This was back in 1962, 3, and 4. I said, Father, it was at its highest. So where we at today? It's where you have keep telling them. That's where you at. You're telling them that. You're telling them that. You're telling them not only in word, but in parables. You are telling them exactly that. It's just where they are at in the midnight hour. They're sitting and dining, relaxing, having a good time in the midnight hour. That means in sin and in iniquity and wicked and evil. That's where everybody are finding time and pleasure in this day. Because I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. You mean Islam, Farrakhan, and Elijah Muhammad, all of this crap was going on and is going on? Yes, Deborah. Where you think you at? You're saying it. And the more the Father want me to see is that's what you've been teaching. You've been telling them where the mindset of the Negro men are at that calls themselves today the Hebrew Israelites. They're thinking that they are the Hebrew Israelites. We are the children. We are the true Jews. But it's nothing that these people are doing that represent that they are the children of the Most High. What are you doing? You're saying we the children. We the chosen one. We are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's seed. We are Yah's children. But what are you doing to represent that you are not your daddy's child, but the creator of all things? You're claiming to be his children. But what are you doing? It's deep, y'all. It's deeper. That rabbit hole goes a long ways, and it is broad. That rabbit hole, you know how a rabbit would go in a hole? You really don't know how far his hole go, but let me tell you something. this darkness, this wicked, and this evil amongst the tribe of Judah and the house of Israel, it goes just that deep. It goes far out, far deep down and out. And he said it is broad. So I'm like, wait a minute. I'm hearing them, Father, but I'm hearing something behind what they're doing and what they're saying. And he told me, he said, they're saying what they're saying on this movie. They're giving all their facts and what they come to find out and their reality of what they said. But what you feeling is the truth of the whole matter behind everything they're doing. And I'm like saying, but how is it you could have been right there? Now, this is what I'm saying. Every job I've worked, I worked around the multitude. The post office, I worked for Chrysler minivan, a car plant. I worked in the hospital. Everywhere I have worked has always been around the multitude of people. So when I get in there, I'm always the one everybody wants to talk to and tell me their life story. So as I live throughout my life hearing the life stories, I'm like, okay, women do that? Your mama did that? Your grandma? Your daddy? And in me, I don't say that to them. I don't act like that, child. I don't. In me, though, be like, because don't forget, the hedge was around me. So by the hedge being around me, I'm not among all of that, nor is it in my parents' household and in the setting in which I come up in and that I live in. So when they're saying this here, I'm like trying to figure out, like, you mean your mother let your daddy do that? You know, I'm saying that now to you all, but when I'm being a counselor and I'm ministering to people, I can't go there. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just showing you the danger. Your daddy, Europeans, heathen. Your daddy did what? Your daddy did? Ooh, your mom. This one, a European lady. She said, "Ma'am, on my lunch break, we have the same lunch break. Is it any way me and you can sit down and we can talk?" I said, "Sure, why not?" I did just that. I didn't even get me a drink or a soda or anything. I was so wanting to hear what she had to say. And she was telling me, oh, when I was 3, 4, 5, and 6, they first broke my ankle. They broke my leg. They broke my nose. They bust my ear. And every time I would go to the hospital, they had a history of my parents, my mother and my blood father, beating me and my sibling. It was 5 of them. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I'm just saying to myself in my inner man, oh, I'm just listening. I hadn't heard worse, baby. But I'm just listening. And she was saying that a month ago, she said, my mother and came and called me and asked me if I would come to visit her and my siblings. Well, my siblings haven't dealt with their mom and dad since they become teenagers. They ran away and never returned home. Now they married and got children. Some of them had grandkids, but they weren't coming to see about mama. Mama now is dying from cancer. So she's saying, she's sitting here telling me all of this, and then she was saying that her brothers and her sisters, she's the baby girl, they refused to go. And she said her husband told her, I think you need to go. Even though your sisters are not going, and I know they used to beat you too. It was her mother and her father. She said that somebody got something broke at least once a month. She said because every weekend, on the weekend, they got beat. She don't know a weekend that she didn't get beat or get beat up. That was mom and dad's a good time. It's when they're weekend, we drinking, we just beat our children. And she said if she go to the hospital, they pull her ruckers. They would probably lock her mother and father up right now because the ruckers shows that they've been beating their kids. And I mean, it wasn't just a basic whooping with a belt. She said her ankles first was broke. Then it was her leg cracked. And then it was her nose and her arm was broke. She said it was her ear busted. And she was just saying all these things that happened to her when she was a little girl. And it was from her mother and father. And she was just saying that her other 4 siblings didn't want to go see mom. So she went to see mom. because her husband told her, yeah, you need to go. Your mother's dying, and you'll feel bad if you don't go. And she was the youngest, so she couldn't convince her siblings. Now they said they didn't want to have nothing to do with their mom and dad, and these was European children. And she said she went, and what happened is she seen her mother. Her mother, had lost a whole bunch of weight. She had the same house they grew up in. She said they had a lot of work done on it. They had a beautiful lake that was still in the back, where they had a thing where you can sit at the lake, and it was beautiful, she said. And she stayed there at her mother's house, and she said her mother had so much company from her church that she attended. And she said that her mother she would go in there and talk to her mother. Her mother would come in, and she would ask her to come in, and she would go into her mother's room. And her mother had so much energy, but she was bedridden. She said, but she looked like she was ready to go, for her being so thin and everything. But she just had this energy, and she was saying that so many members from church would come over her and pray with her, and help her bath and all of that. And she said her mother would call her in a room, and she just take out time and sit in that room with her mother. But she said she wasn't happy. She wasn't happy because she was looking at her mother and thinking, all that you have done to me and my siblings, and you're going to pass away. And not, she said, but this particular time her mother called her into her room, she told her what had happened, that she remembered her and her father beating them, and that if she would tell all the siblings that she didn't forget, she remembered, and that she's so sorry, and that they were drinking. But she said her mother was doing such a repentance. She started crying because she thought her mother was going to pass away and just wipe it all under the rug and never been. She said, but the way her mother was apologizing, saying she was sorry, and she started crying. And then she said she started crying, and her mother just told her everything that they had done, and that she was sorry for it. And please forgive her, and please tell the siblings that she is so sorry, because the siblings didn't come. The older sisters and brothers, they didn't come. So what happened is, after the mom had done that, she said her mom just looked like she was getting more stronger and stronger. And her mother, she stayed there, I think 5 days. She said her mother, I think 5 days or a week. She said, but her mother was going down, but yet she had the energy to talk to the people in the church, and them coming over, and they were cooking for her, and she was saying she was there to do things for her mom, and her mom was still telling her, I'm telling you, I'm sorry. We are sorry. Was repenting for what they did. She said her mother told her they had been stopped drinking, and that she was sad that she had did her kids that way. So she said it was there. She said, but it was nothing in her that wanted to say, okay, I forgive you. She said, because she's an atheist. She said, ma'am, I'm an atheist. I never believed in God, because we used to get beat and everything. And I used to wonder, where is a God? If there's something outside of us getting beaten by mother and father, and something bigger, well, where is it? It allowed us to get beaten, put in the hospital for days. She just said it was no happiness in her life until she met her husband. But she said that she went out on that bench by the lake, and she said she looked up into the stars, and she said the moon was out. And she said, if you exist, God, please help me to forgive my mother. If you exist, she said, she sat on there. It was, I think she said like midnight. It was real, real late. And in her, she said, it was a warm, lightning-like feeling come into her. And it felt so good. And it was like something was making her feel that she had comfort and she was loved. And she said it was such an awesome feeling. She said, I had never felt that a day in my life. My husband couldn't give me that. And she was so into telling me the story. And she said, I had never experienced that. And she said, when she went back in there into her mother's room, her mother was asleep. So she said she woke up that morning, and she went in there and told her mother she forgave her. And that evening, her mother died. And she said that it was like her going telling her mother she forgive her, she said it felt so good to release that forgiveness while her mother was still alive. She said it just felt good. And she said right then she knew there was a God, because it's no way, she never believed in God. Her husband don't believe in God. She didn't raise her children in the church. She said we was just atheists. And she just gave me her testimony. But what I'm saying is the things that has taken place in life, whether it's Europeans, heathen, Gentiles, black, white, orange, green, African, or whatever, we've all done gone through wicked and evil in one way or another. And we still hold on to it because there is the one that has abused us or have hurt us still won't come to face with it. But you yourself can release it and not let it take over you. Because honestly, that which they have done to you have made you who you are today. Really, it is. Because look at her. She had 3 children. So when she came back, she said she was able. She said there was a lot of people at her mother's funeral. A lot of them. She was the only one there, the only daughter there. But she said her mother's funeral was packed with people that loved her mother and knew her mother. And she said when she went back home, she told her husband that from this day on, we are going to serve God. He is real. And because he the one came to her that midnight hour and comfort her and gave her what she needed to repent to her mother and accept her repentance. So with that being said, the same situation, it was another situation that was way worse than that, where a young man was telling me that when he was 3, that his mother sold him to the crackheads. It wasn't a crack, it was, I think they were sniffing coke. I don't know what it was, but his mother, and he, right now, he's like, now he should be like 66, but he was going through, y'all. This young man was going through so much. And I mean, when he was going through, he was hurting. He was telling me, can I talk to you? I just moved in the neighborhood. And he said, if there's any way that I can talk to you, my mother really believed that you are someone special. Told him, I said, I'm not anyone special. Ahia is special, you know, and he's the one, the Almighty. And he said, but can I just sit here and just give you, I won't hold you long. I said, sure. At that time, I think he was like 48, something like that. But he began to tell me his story. And he said, ever since I was 3, my mother sold me sexual. I mean, they did me in since I was 3 up until I was 14. All that time just for her to get high and smoke and take drugs. And he was saying how they just messed his whole body up. Now he married and he got 3 daughters. You know, he got 3 daughters, beautiful daughters. You hear me? And he was the type that he was just clean cut, clean shaved. Everything he had on had to match. And he was the drum player in the church. And he said he can't go on in life because even with his wife, he can't be the best that he wants to be with her because how damaged he has been from his mother. So I'm just thinking, you know, that's just some of the stories, but just think of, that's just some things. Just imagine in life the issue others have had that's identical and have had issues beyond that. So when I'm watching this Malcolm X story, Who Murdered Malcolm X, I'm seeing all this same mess that had went on way back. And what it reminds me of is also in Ezekiel 36 and verse 19, when he said, I scattered them amongst the countries in which they were like unto. You know, in a sense, the way you were in that promised and holy land, I'm going to bring you to the land in which your ugliness measure you to the T. So that's why you all are over here and you're wondering what we were just brought here because we disobeyed. You did more than disobey the Most High or higher people. You went way and beyond, just like the heathens went way and beyond what they were charged to do, or as far as oppressing us, they went way beyond. we as people have went way beyond to as a people, and we think we all that and some. And when I'm sitting here watching Malcolm X, and I'm sitting here and they're talking about how Elijah Muhammad, and how he had them young girls in his office, and he had babies by them all, and just, I mean, just off the chain, the things that he had done. And it's like the whole Chicago and every state in this country was putting him on pedestals, no matter what he did, no matter how they did. They was running all kind of things that just off the chain. They were always about that mighty dollar. Now, what I come up to understand, that I didn't get this understanding out of my own. As I was getting emotion, no, a father was saying, but Deborah, do you know about the KKK? Way back. Who supported them to get to that level where they were at, and for them to get away with what they were doing? I said, no, Father. He said, that's what was supporting the Islam back then and now. I figured it had to be something, because you never see them doing anything positive in their community. You never see them. You don't see them doing nothing positive. You don't see them doing anything. They do little bitty tiny things, which is never heard of, just to recognize that we run this community. It's that gangster thing, y'all. It's the same old gangster role. You see what I'm saying? All of them want to be, and just listening to them and how Malcolm X got to the level of where he was at. And his issue was what I'm telling y'all now, righteousness. Malcolm X wanted to, if he didn't know all the things that they were doing. When he got out of jail and joined them, they took him in and they did everything, but he had no idea they were doing all that. Did y'all know Malcolm X was totally against him and all those children, them babies he was having babies by? He was totally against all that, but their wives didn't have no problem with it. You see what I'm saying? Just so many things, so much wicked and evil, in which, yes, I said to the Father, I know I've heard so much. I know I've heard all the bad stories of what Dad did to his daughters and to his sons, and what uncles and uncle's brother's uncle, granddaddy did to their grandbaby. I've heard so much stuff to where I cannot support the tribe of Judah in the ways that they want to pretend they're walking to represent the Ahaya. If only did they know or accept. It ain't that they don't know, it's accept the fact that 99.9 of the dirt in their hurt comes from the wickedness of the Father. That's why he said, I will visit the iniquity of the Father on the children 3 to 4 generations, because y'all know where the wicked really rest, y'all. And they don't, and nobody wants to hear it in this day and time. Just like I was looking at Malcolm X situation. They know who killed the man. They know that they was part of it, but nobody. And this is what all the old heads standing around saying, just shut up. Don't bring it up. We know what happened, but that's all right. Just forget it. It's in the past. And I'm like saying, Father, all these elderly men gonna lose their eternal life supporting it even to today. They don't even know they're going straight to hell. No, y'all, it's about right. Remember I said the foundation is righteousness. And if you're joining unrighteous just to live in a world to make it look like you kings and leaders and rulers and everything is okay in what you doing, and y'all ain't got sense enough to know who you are and where you going after this. That's their mentality. That's why I know I done scoot up to 98% gone now. They're 98% gone, because just looking at that brought me to a level of, Father, this rabbit hole goes a long ways. I mean, to other continents does this rabbit goes. I mean, because it's just that deep, and it's broad. It's just so much space in it. And no one's saying anything. No one's using it. And he said, when I got off the couch after all of that and being all emotional, I did my video. He said, now, Deborah, now, do you understand why they need a woman to keep quiet? Malcolm X didn't keep quiet, child. He didn't keep quiet. He thought that was nasty. He thought that was rotten. He was a man of the girls. He thought that was unjust. And the things that he found out they were doing amongst the Islam, he was starting to get totally against it. And this is what I'm saying, even amongst your nation right now, that wants you to believe we the people, we the children, we awakening, we the Hebrew Israelite, and they ain't nothing but loaded of sin, y'all. Wicked, darkness, abomination, disobedient, whoremongers, stiff-necked. They just everything that you can call them, that is who they are. So the Father took me back into Isaiah 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I said, now I'm getting it. I said, wait a minute now. I'm way over in Isaiah, not Isaiah, Ezekiel 7, Ezekiel 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm all over in Ezekiel 36. And I'm like saying, Father, right here in Ezekiel 36, you going into Ezekiel telling him what they did. But right here in 7 breaks it down, Father. This breaks it down as low as it can go. So when we sit today, keep on playing. Keep on taking this thing lightly. Don't entertain these men. Don't make them think that they are high and mighty. Y'all has seen, and even in Ezekiel 8 and 9, he said, and they're saying, this is what the men, and it says, and the men are saying, I'm not coming back. I've been taking too long. That's what our Father was saying. They really think that. That's why they continue to do the things that they're doing. I was like, that's how the heathens think. That is how the heathens think. I want to let y'all know the Gentiles is the heathens and the heathens is the Gentiles. Don't let nobody try to break those apart. They are the same thing, okay? They're the same. They got the same heart and the same mindset. Now, all the Gentiles don't believe, they believe that there is a God, but they might not believe in the right God, but they believe. Heathens most of the time don't believe in nothing, but they do believe, because in here it talks about how the heathens saw us coming over here on the ships, and they said, aren't you the people of the Most High, higher? And I'm like saying, wait a minute, how did they know that? See, while we're chasing a fantasy and all this other stuff that's consists of living in this world, these people then got it and gone. It's no way they can even make the movies and do the things that they're doing and not know more than we know. Now, I'm gonna put it like that. They do. They know more than I ain't gonna say me, but they know more than they know. Than the people who run around and say, we the children, we the children. We the people, we the true Jews, we the Hebrew Israelite, we the awakening, you the evil one he spoke of from the beginning to the end. So that's that. So as I was watching the Malcolm X story, I did get emotion because I got emotional because I'm like, wait a minute, Father. When I look at this here, Father, on this end, I'm hearing behind what they're saying. I'm seeing the crime. I'm seeing the issues of how our men are displaying murdering and killing. They murdering and killing on this side, and then the heathens murdering and killing them. I said, Father, how could that be? And he was showing all, those Martin Luther King pictures when they beating the men, they on the concrete dead, they beat their head wide open, and they all on the concrete in this here movie, right? In this these clips. I'm sitting here watching all our men be dead on the streets and being murdered and killed by the heathens, right? But on the other hand, wait a minute, our people are doing the same identical thing to one another. And I'm like saying, Father, wait a minute, hold up. And then they have the audacity to have a code of silence in the Islam and amongst the community. A code of silence. No matter what we do wrong, you back us up. Woo! And this is why Ahia says in Isaiah 3 and verse 25, I'm going to destroy your men. He's really going to do that. While we're sitting around thinking that he's going to play with them because we chose to play in their darkness with them and not see them for what they're doing or not holding them accountable, that's why you see them killing our men at a flick of a button. Pull them over, pow, pull them over, pow. And you wondering why? Because you want to see them somewhere they are not in their hearts and in their minds. I'm sitting back looking at this and seeing this code of silence. This man sitting there said, but you know that he shot the shotgun that killed. Yeah, but you don't, you know, and I know, won't we just leave it alone? Just leave it alone. He's going to all the elders, and this is what they say. You in some trouble. You in hot water. Don't go that way. You better not do this. This man insists. Live or die. He insists on bringing as much information. And to me, baby, you don't even have to bring no more information to Sister Deborah. Sister Deborah can read lines. She can read behind reading. They all are involved. Everybody that knows that this stuff is going on back in them old days, you knew that granddaddy was raping grandson and uncle was raping nephews and nieces, and granddaddy having sex with niece, mother letting father have sex with daughter and son, all that stuff. Guess what? Y'all gonna hold it to your charge when you stand before him. That's why people don't understand about his remnant. It's very small. That's why very few is going to find that narrow gate, because that narrow gate hold righteous. Nowadays, nobody wants to hold righteous. None of the men want to see how wicked and evil they have breeded and had children that carried it on through generation and generation and generation. Then bam, they carried it on 4 more generations, 3 or 4 more generations, and bam, there they carry it on, and it goes on and on. The society try to call it generational curse, but it's deeper than that, baby. The rabbit hole goes a long ways to another continent. That's just how far that rabbit hole goes. And he said it is broad. That's what the Spirit told me. He said, Deborah, that rabbit hole is broad. That means ain't no little hole, Deborah. You keep thinking that. He said, ain't no little hole, and it ain't no little deep hole for the. He said it goes all the way to another continent. That's how bad it really is. So then I said, okay. And I sat here and I said, okay, let me see on YouTube who's talking. Then I heard someone's talking about, you remember how they was talking about defunding the police? There was one time they was talking about defunding the police. That's going to be true too. And the reason why is because they want the nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom in our community, so that it'll keep the people from going after the system and the government first. You see, over in Australia, they're going after the government. They're uniting, but they saying if we can get the racial war going on and get tension here in our country, we'll never have to worry about them coming after the government, which makes a lot of sense. Government closing down food plant in every state in the United States. Every state got a food plant that been destroyed. Okay, within the beginning of the year, they're doing all kind of destroying all kind of cattle and plant and crops and everything right in front of your eyes, and you ain't saying a cock and picking thing. You see how deep that is? That's how deep it is that I created the wicked and evil for the days of wicked and evil. That means no matter what they do, they're going to do it. Then I heard a prophet. She says she's a prophetess. I don't know. But when I heard her say that again today, I was like, now she's telling the truth on that. She said that the chaos got to come within the streets. They want the chaos in the streets, among the people. She's telling the truth about that. And that's how it's going to be, y'all, whether you like it or not. It's going to be that way. But yet, no, going back to what I said earlier today on the video, you can have peace within you. Once you grab that and take a look at who a higher is in you and you in him, you're good to go. But guess what? You're going to see things for what it is. Because see, you can't go to the Most High and stay at his altar if you don't see nothing's going on. See, only time you want to come anyway is to praise him, to honor him. But you want to honor and praise him based on how he's keeping you and your family from all that you are beholding. Don't stand before the altar of the Most High and deny all this mess that's going on. Oh, no, he ain't going for that. That's what's happening in Malcolm X. They all said, we're going to deny it. We ain't going to accept it, even though we was there. We know it happened. We saw it. We were there in the room. We saw it. We know who did it. We know where they did it and how many times they did, but we want to leave that alone. And that's what the men have done throughout time. They have left wicked and evil, abomination, and doing all kind of sick stuff. They have left it alone. And what you see today, that's why when people say about sex trafficking, what Kirk Franklin is doing, all that stuff don't even faze me, because they've been doing it so long. He's seen the heathens do it for so long. He's seen his own kind, even in his father and his grandfather and them doing it for so long, to where right become wrong and wrong become right. And then even the women begin to see nothing wrong with nothing. And Yah is not one and that's what his beef was when he turned around and take me back to Ezekiel 7, 8, and 9. I'm like, wait a minute, where I'm going back here for? I'm in 36. He said, no, we're going to go back here where you can see how long the rabbit hole goes. He said, this is what they was doing. So when I'm sitting here looking at Malcolm X story, he's saying, see, here it is and here. So it didn't just start with Malcolm X back then. It started, I said, yeah, but Father, dang. That's when he told me the rabbit holes goes a long ways. We are the ones that's in denial. And that's why our light won't shine so bright. Because we're part majority darkness, standing with darkness in what they are doing and okaying it and acting like we don't see it. We don't know nothing about it. It's nothing we can do about it as far as changing it, but we are the light. We stand in the midst of darkness. But when we stand in the midst of darkness, what do we speak? Righteous. So as I was seeing all of this, I was just very emotional, because I land a place I should not have land, but I have a tendency of going there. I said to the Father, I said, you taught me what took place before the foundation of the world, and this still yet is all your creation. He said, yeah, but it's all my creation. But didn't it start here? Yes, when that's where it's going to end. See there? He's just letting you know, I rule this. It start here, and that's where it's going to end. Why do you think when he said they're going to be coming and they're going to say, I did this, I did it, lying before glory. Lying in the midst of glory, saying, I did this, I did this, I did this. Wait, hold up. First thing you need to be doing is hanging your head. Matter of fact, you should be holding your whole face to the floor. Not so much up, standing up in the front of the midst of glory and telling him what you did, like he don't know. That's showing you they coming back lying, because they're going to be and lie to everybody down here so long till their spirit believes a lie. Then they stand before him in spirit. They're going to be lying. Get away from me. I ain't never knew you. And you standing here in front of me like I know you. I ain't never knew you. Take him away. The lake of fire is waiting for him. And he's waiting for the lake of fire. You see? So the whole idea kind of hurt, because I saw Muhammad Ali. He was involved in it. Everybody was involved in this wickedness, the way they thought, the way they did things. They did things like gangster, y'all. They did things like the KKK do. In case y'all didn't know that. They did things like those that were hanging people. Our people were doing things among their own people, like in the same way. So you see what I'm saying? It matches Ezekiel 36 and 19. I put them there because they are alike. This is the way they were. So I brought them to the same place. It's likened to who they are and doing the things that they do. This is where they need to go. So he even put you where he knew you wasn't going to change. He put you where he knew that you wasn't going to make a difference. That's sad. He put you where he knew you wasn't going to do anything no different. That's why he usher in the Gentiles. He put you where he knew you wasn't going to change. And that's deep to me. That's deep. And then, but you still running around here, we the children, we the Jews, we the true Jews. You the true ugly people that he has spoken about throughout this book. Try that. But except you are called, appointed, and anointed before the foundation of the world, you will, with no doubt, with no power, with no strength, you will walk in the same darkness. That's why it's pitch dark right now. Because everybody's calling right wrong and wrong right. I would have done better. I sat in that living room and I would have done better not to even see that. Not to even know. You see, it is so many of our people that have lost their lives throughout time the same way. Same way with Cain and Abel. It ain't no different. See, everybody wants to make it look like, oh, well, we the people, we the children, but they ain't figuring out really who are we. We are a ugly people, and this is why he need us destroyed. That ends the curse. That ends the curse itself. Only the curse. It ends the curse once we are destroyed. Because after everything that we have done, we ain't getting away with it, baby. We ain't gonna get away with it. Because he said, once you get to the promised land, then will I clean you up and take your filth and give you a new spirit, a new name. And then after you there, he said, then you will remember your abomination. See, it's just a time set. I just couldn't see that, y'all. I'm going to be honest. I just could not see us thinking that we're going to the New Jerusalem and okay, and all this sin that our men and women are doing. We're standing here okay in everything they're doing when we don't speak against it. Say, for instance, there's nothing you can do. But when people are talking about it and people, they got it all over the whole world. And all we can do is sit and keep watching it. That brother just went in there and killed all his family. Oh, let me put it on my page. This man killed his mother, his father, his sister, his brother, his 2 children. And we it's like a adrenaline, like the monster drinks that they have. That's how Negroes act about violence and chaos in their community. But let some white person get killed. Ooh, that was sad they killed him. That's exactly how those Negroes act. It's sad, but I've sat and watched it. And I'd be like, but Father, what is that? When they can feel it when it's someone else out of their nation. But when it's their nation, they act like, oh, it's all where. Destroying your sons and your daughters. Your own people, and don't see nothing wrong with it. And you should have seen this man. He's an elderly man, but he's trying to get to the core of who killed Malcolm. Meaning, so there was 3 that was involved. 2 of them got locked up, but the main one, which is the autopsy, said that the bullets from the shotgun is what killed him. Right here in the heart, because that's where he landed, all up in his heart. That is what killed him. And it hit him here. So that's the one they need to get, the one that did that. And he's walking around here, y'all. They even have him on a commercial. That's just how deep the rabbit hole is, where you can get away with killing your own. You see? And we run around here. And let me tell you, somebody else is saying something really stupid. Oh, that what's his name? Biden, the president is putting up a large amount of money, like billions, to fight against crime. To fight against crime. One would say, this is what one would say. Oh, they just doing it toward blacks. Not evil and wicked, toward evil and wicked, murdering, killing, and destroying. Not toward that, but toward blacks. Oh, they just putting that money up toward blacks. Sister Deborah see behind. She can see behind see it. She can hear behind hear. That money that they're putting up is because they sending you a sign. There's about to be nation against nation. You think for 1 minute. See, I sat back and watched Ahia talk about, for my name's sake, do I do this? For my name's sake, for my name's sake. The Hebrew Israelite movement, and you all too, have made it about you. We the people, they doing this to us. They bothering us. We are making this all about us and not about what Ahia have said. I do this because of my sake, for my sake. And we study saying, we the people, they after us. Baby, let me tell you something. Yah has already given them the power to destroy you. So what in the rats behind are you talking about? They destroying you right here as I speak. There are many of our people being taken away. Organs been taken from them. Men being killed, lynched, thrown in the river, everywhere. While y'all sitting y'all monkey mouths around here on this devil platform, talking a bunch of bull crap that don't mean nothing. Because you didn't respect Deuteronomy Endgame. If you did, you would have known they still are given by Ahia to destroy us here. They're not going to let up off of you. You better get to understand spirit and truth, which take you to righteousness, the light, the narrow gate. It caused you to thirst for righteousness, thirst for truth. Not nonsense to put on your page so you can get likes. But that's just who you are. It's not going anywhere. But the sad part is about it. Say, if you all see, I don't know if you all saw on the news, Biden was talking about giving this money, billions of dollars to support fighting crime. If your butt is only 13% and you're already killing everybody in your community, the men are killing the women by great numbers. The men are killing their children, their mother and their fathers and their sons, and women are killing their children. So you tell me, what population do you have that $1 billion is going to be put forth? You see the ignorance, because people don't understand where we're at. We're beyond you, Hebrew Israelite. It's nothing you got coming outside of him coming to get what's his. That's it. That's it. Your best bet should be going spirit and truth. Thirsting for righteousness and truth. Seeking to stand and keep your butt in the light. Find out where is the direction to the narrow gate. Where is the flaming sword that's lit that'll show me to the Garden of Eden? This is where you should be at. But being caught up in stupid stuff about what Biden is talking about as far as money, read your Bible up under the Ruach HaKodesh. Because people need to be taught and understand that this thing is deeper. than what they flesh can imagine. People just put anything on there and they don't even see no spirit and truth of the matter of nothing they say. They just shoot into the worldly matters. They so far in the world that they of the world. And it's sad because if he's getting some odd billions of dollars to fight crime, let me tell you what the Spirit told me. Let me show y'all something. This is the difference in what I'm saying and how he deal with me. I'm already emotional. I'm all up in my emotions, and I'm telling the Father, when you know what you taught me before the foundation of the world looked like you orchestrated all this, and all of it sick, all of it this. He shut me down. But this is what he got me at. He said, "Do you see how you're watching that, and you see how wicked and evil and abomination and how all this gangster and drugs, all this is really still wrapped up in the Islam?" I said, I see that on here, and that's what I'm saying. They just rotten to the core. Our Negro men are just rotten to the core. He said, would you believe they would say that they are also the Hebrew Israelites, even though they claiming Islam, Muslim, okay? He said, but they are your same nation. That's what he was telling me. He said, now let's count that up now. He said, let's count it up a little bit. He said, let's do your count. If Negroes is only 15, no, it ain't 15. It's 13. It used to be 15 point something, almost 16. It's down to 13% of us Negroes in this country. Just say just in the United States, okay? You got to take off. We're gonna peel off what's what, and what we as people who want to walk in righteousness, want to walk in the light, want to thirst for spirit and truth. We as that type of people in a higher have to be able to own up to what the reality, the truth of the matter is. Watch this. And this is what he said. And he said, now, you see how you see in the corruption of Islam, and they don't consider themselves the same nation that you are, even though they are the same people. I said, yeah. He said, now, you have to take out a large percentage for homosexual and gay. Okay? He said, I told you that in Isaiah 3. Judah has fallen. And the countenance of their face is not even ashamed. It is just like Sodom. Meaning, you know how fags be walking around and be dressing, and gay people just don't care about switching and want to be. And see, women don't even have the sense to grip that males have taken so much from you till they want to be you. And because they want so much to be you, guess what? They will hate on who you are. You see? So when you see a lot of these men like that Sanders guy, a lot of it has to do with they hate on you because they want to be you. You see? And that's what that's why a lot of gay people, they go around a lot of females, because they're trying to steal your identity. They want to know and be around you so they can learn your walk, your talk, your movement, your swing, your swag, the way you put your makeup on, the way you do everything, so that it can be easy for them. And we run around here thinking, oh, well, you know, it's all good. It's no. You don't understand your identity when he made you in the beginning has been stripped from you, because he said them, and he didn't say him. He said him and her, not him and him. And we ourselves have given it over to him, and then fail to realize that's what the two scriptures that were no sin. So it was locked in to never to change. Even when sin stepped in, it still did not, it still don't have the power to move out of the order of what it was before there was no sin. He said her and him. Them, not him and him, nor her and her. So we've been out. They've been stealing everything Yah has created with his right hand. They've been trying to take it out with their left hand, but they can't because everything has been orchestrated and he has saw it for what it was in him, not what it is in them. So I'm on the couch and he separated. He said, now, if you got 13% of Hebrew Israelites, as they want to call each other, said Negroes, okay, you got to take out a certain percentage that are in the gay field, meaning in the closet, out of the closet, under the bed, and all over the place. They everywhere, baby. It's just not in the closet. Married men, okay, grandpas, married. I mean, it don't matter if they marry or whatever. They just all over the place doing this thing, and everybody trying to make it like a shh, 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 shh. Don't want to say nothing, don't want to talk about it, don't want to see it for what it is, or call it out for what it is. So say, for instance, here it is. He said, now you take that off of your 13. What would you take off? He's talking to me. I said, I'm going to be honest with you, Father. Give or take, I got to take at least about 18%. No, I'm not 18. Out of the 13% of you all here, I would take it. Me, this is what I told him. I'd take 8%. I would have to take 8%, Father. He said, okay. Now, what about the Muslim? I said, wow. He said, what about the Muslim? They y'all nation. Same people. What number you going to put on there? See how low we already at 13. All the killing and murder and everything that they're doing out here, we probably didn't lessen we lesser in ourselves, and we worried about how the number of the white people are not counting up. Just think, baby, you ain't counting up either. I don't care how many babies you having out of wedlock and laying babies all over the place with mental illness. You see, because that's all you're breathing. He said the sin of the father into the children. That's all you're breathing. You ain't doing nothing positive toward the most high or higher. So therefore, you breathing monsters, and think you're doing something. Over here, over there, just every place. And you're all well with it. No problem. Everybody think it's good. Okay? But if you take away the LBG, I don't know what that LBG, PTT crew or whatever it is, and you take that percentage out of the 13, and then you take the Muslim, you have to take them out. Because y'all ain't putting up with that nonsense. See, and you all would think in y'all mind, oh, he come to get them too. They the people. We all the children. Just think about that. You all don't even know. That's a large percentage of the 13. That's what the Father was showing me. He said, see, Deborah, my small remnant is really small. I said, it would have to be, Father, y'all. See, y'all don't count up like that. Y'all don't think like that because you have to be able to be in him for real to see exactly what I'm saying. So he even was on me about, you see their power, you see their authority, and you see what's behind it. And I said, yeah, I can see what's behind it, but I did not connect it or higher connected. He said, you know the KKK? I said, yeah. He said, those who started them, the Muslim here in this country, I ain't talking about over somewhere else. They're founded also. They're supported by the same one that support the KKK. Mm-hmm. Yep. In the Muslim. And they run around here trying to be big dogs only when it's time. They don't want to do nothing from there. And no one never say anything. They don't do nothing to their community. They don't do anything. What kind of Most High they serve? I don't know. I could care less. But I know it's not a living one, not one with eternal life. It's the wicked side. And that's what is going on with us as a people. But a higher say, we were like this before we got over here. We were doing all the wickedness in which we're doing on this land. He said we were doing that from the beginning. We just think that it's okay to keep saying, all the heathens and the heathens. And he said that the Gentiles are the heathens and the heathens are Gentile in the mindsets and their hearts in this country. So a lot of us might try to separate the Gentiles from the heathen. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can't, because they are the same in the way they're thinking, their function, and their hearts. You know, their wickedness. So they on one accord. you know. So it's a sad thing, because when he caught, he asked me, he said, now what is that number? I said, they say it's 13%, give or take. Yeah, 13%. Now, if we killing one another big time, go to nobody goes to the page and see that. And a lot of times people don't like to go because it is disturbing to your spirit, but it's reality. It's what's been prophesied. So if we run from what is prophesied just because we don't want our emotions and our flesh to be saddened, then that's on us, because that means you're not going to be able to handle what is yet to come until Ahia gets you out of here. And he will get you out of here. Oh, yes, without a doubt. But I'm just showing you who ain't going to be able to get up out of here, in which they're trying. These men teaches you on all these camps and these academies and all these here platforms for the Hebrew Israelite movement. It's really Hebrew Israelite cult, and all these here new awakening people are getting up. Let me tell you why. Because they never counted out how many Muslims is in this country. If we only 13%, how many of our men are in the closet, mean homosexual? I know it's the truth of the matter, because he said Judith has fallen, even their continence. They have no shame. It's all on their faces, the way they dress, the way they move. So you're going to have to eliminate all of that and stop telling everybody that they're going. You see, that's not going to be so. But see, that's why he said one quiet word in Revelation: come out of her, or else you shall receive her plagues. Her plagues. Because you're so in her. Islam, they're in Elijah Farrakhan and all of them. They're in her. That's why the system don't bother them, y'all. You don't see them tampering with them. You don't see them bothering them. You don't see them doing anything. You don't see them doing anything to them. All these years. Now, they tamper with them, but nothing like what they doing to your brothers and your sisters that's out here living, because they are supported. They got a wicked support system behind them. Okay? And y'all said that's coming to the light as well, because when that nation start fighting that nation, they're coming for them off the top, because they want to form their organization as to be something. That's what's going to show up. They're going to come after them. That's what they don't understand. So, and all those people talking about they preparing. And another thing, with him spending money for the crime, why are we worried about a president putting money toward a crime? Who in their right mind see all this crime going on and worry about, oh, it's to the black people, it's to our people? A sick mind that's an agent would teach that mess. Because I wonder, are these people coming on here putting this mess on here to start, or to, it's almost like they participating in starting the riots, want to put in us negativity, or things that someone's coming after us, or they doing it to us. We have to rise above these people on this platform, y'all. You got to, and see straight through them, that many of them, just like the Islam, are agents working with Satan on these devil platforms to upbuild his empire. His empire is when something happens, they jump on it and make it their news, and then expound on it. You see? And then on the other end, want to jump over there on 10% on a higher word. You either in or you out, or you stay where you are at. It doesn't even make sense to go in and out. Y'all ain't going to take it like that. And that's why I say a lot of them don't even understand. They're going to be left right here playing that game that this world plays. Now, we also have, I know you all heard about the Ahmed. What is those people who the government has charged them? What was that? Because they were they have animals and probably crop that they sell. They're not Mormons. Are they Mormons? Amish, something like that. Yeah, there you go. The Amish. And have you all heard about that one? Have you heard about that one? But you said that's lukewarm vomit. You haven't heard about it? Oh, wow. Okay, at least someone has. It's where they are finding, they're charging them a large amount because they sell 4,000 customers, their crop and their meat that they raise on their land. Okay. Did not I explain to you? I don't care what you got. If you set yourself up here that you are going to override any and everything, and you're going to run and teach everybody else that you know the way to survive, and you know the way to have this, have that, have this, have that, have that, and you're going to be okay, and they're going to be in trouble. Y'all ain't going for it. He's going to send it straight to where you at. And any and everybody. What they're showing the Amish, I think that's how you pronounce it, is that we're going to start with you. And it ain't going to end there. It's going to go to everybody that's out here raising and thinking they got their crops and everything. That's why I try to tell people, do not put yourself here and be looking down at everybody else as if you got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. Because y'all would say, okay, let it go. And when they go, they coming for all those who think they done build, establish, and accomplish those things in which you and I have not. He said, seek ye the kingdom of Ahia, and all shall be added. And that means we first have to seek him in us. And then the things that's going to be added will be what he would give us. And he said, live as if today is your last day. And the prayer said, give me this day as if. He said, give me this day my daily bread. So therefore, we can prepare for the storms that's coming, the light storm. But when we prepare and then tell others, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to get this. Because this pastor now, he think he got it made in the pan. They coming for him next. You see? And it's nothing. Did you know when they come, you ain't gonna be nothing you can do. Y'all, do y'all hear me? People don't realize where we are at in a society. We got to get right. We got to find righteousness to stand on. We got to find just. We got to find a thirst in the thirst day and night, night and day. We have to desire to rest in the light and stay in the light, walk in the light, talk in the light. We have to desire to know which way is the narrow gate. We have to desire to live, talk, breathe in spirit and truth. And stop trying to live the way the flesh of man say we are to live. Let Ahia do what he do best with his right hand and stretched out arm. Learn of how his power is what's going to move any and everything for us. That's why he said today, tell them to just be happy, enjoy life. It's nothing wrong with you preparing for the storm. But don't let the storm prepare for you. Know that he has you. And that you seek him. And everything else, let him add it onto you. And not man on all these platforms. The more and more I see these things, I embrace them. I learn from what he's showing me, what he's teaching me. And when I finish out, guess what? He still said he'd given me the spirit of endurance. And that's what I'm running with. In this race, I'm running with the spirit of endurance. Because I'm going to make it to the finish line. I will make it to the finish line. You see? And I'm not going to run in the direction to the darkness. I'm running away from the darkness. I want to go to the light, to the finish line, where Ahia is going to meet me and say, well done. Well done. You done it. And I would say to him, I couldn't have done it without all the things that you have given me and the tools thereof to continue the race. Because I know for a fact that I couldn't. Not for the things he's teaching me and showing me. Oh, no. I couldn't do it. So this here was about the Amish. They was finding them a large amount because they are selling. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to shut them down. That's what the whole idea is. We're going to shut you down as a farmer. See what you do then. You see, all of y'all on this farm, y'all trying to live y'all way and thinking it's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. It's nothing wrong with that. But Ahiah has a will. He has a righteous will. He has an unrighteous will. But both wills work together to complete his will. Because if that wasn't so, he said in Proverbs 16, I created wicked for the days of wicked and evil. You see? So if he did that, don't that have to come to pass? Don't wicked and evil have to have its time? You see? When you embrace what he has created and what he's doing, then he'll let you be able to continue your race as if it's not even in your way. That's why he said, be happy. Do things that you like to do. Don't do things people tell you, oh, you can't do this. You shouldn't do this and all that. Do what you want to do and how you want to do it. Just make sure Yah is in the front of it and on every side and also in the back of it. That's all that matters. And all this other monkey mess they trying to get everybody to be addicted to me, if you keep on running like they want you to run, you're going to run yourself sick. Because the way they got it doing is now all this darkness I'm sitting here telling you that took place when Malcolm X and all of that, and I didn't know, I had no idea that Muhammad was all wrapped up in all that darkness. It's no way in the world. It's no way that we are to be following the people. We're to be following Ahiah. Not even Sister Deborah, follow Ahiah, because I'm following him too. And I'm running faster than you are. That's just how crazy I am. I'm running. So you ain't gonna be able to keep up with me. I'm gonna be running. I know the direction. And I'm just a runner. You know, I know what he has given me to run this race. And I just want to run it. You know I'm not perfect, y'all. I'm not perfect in nothing in my flesh. That's why when y'all hear me talking, you wondering, well, how could that lady talk like that and feel that way about Ahiah and speak of him like that? It's because I'm coming out the spirit realm, y'all. It ain't this nasty flesh. This nasty flesh ain't got nothing coming. You see, I'm coming from a spiritual realm and not this flesh. That's why. That spirit taught me as a little girl. So why would I forsake it? Do that make any sense? Why should I turn my back from it? No. When I know it's the only light that I have to keep running so I can see what I'm running to. Oh, no, baby, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I continue to pray that he still continue to be with me. And throughout, like daytime and night, I'll be thinking about the family and people, even you all, just thinking how, just Father, just be with us, just guide us and lead us, show us the way, direct us. Oh, Father, we need you. We can't do it without you, because I don't know. I look at it, it's just so much. It is just so much that is taking place. You just can't see it. And it's like, what is it that's going to take place? It's going to be like a bombshell that it's going to just, but he's showing me, Deborah, it's been going on. It's that this darkness has been at a high level for quite a long time. That's why I said, Deborah, it is finished. It is finished. Now, the people that's on this here Amish land, this Amish religion, whatever, they all on there. They doing their things. They ain't bothering nobody. They raising their animals and their vegetables and so on. But what people don't understand is when he created evil and wicked and evil for the days of evil, you best bet he did not create it so that you can be exempt. And that's the hearts of people. Oh, I'm exempt. My kids, I raise them, I bring them up, and we fall out in the woods and we this and we that. And that's the way they probably feeling too. We're not in the city. We're not in all that care. Baby, I don't care where you at, baby. It's coming to your door, your front and your back. If it's going to come to mine, it's coming to yours. It's not that you somewhere that it's not going to come to. You don't understand the way the wicked rumbles, baby. And that's why I say it's sad. The mindsets. Even when you talk about, when people talk about uh, 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 funding money for crime, who gets a rat behind? Who cares? Do you not see the crime that's out here? I don't care about the money. It's giving money to fight any crime, whether it's heathens, because the heathens can turn around and be shooting us up. You see what I'm saying? We can be coming around here shooting all our families up, which we're doing. You see? They shooting us up. We shooting our own up. You see? So if we're saying crime, it's like Ahia saying, so what should they do? Stand around and let it be, continue what it is. See the mindsets? This is why I know us Negro people are gone. Because we would think that, yeah, they shouldn't be paying money. He's talking about paying money to stop crime or for us toward crime. Oh, it's just because it's black. We black. Everything always rests on us. And that hurts me to my heart, y'all. That hurts me, Father, y'all. Oh, that hurts me to my heart. Because when the Ruach teaches you spirit and truth, he shows you your nation is the ugliest nation on the face of the earth. Wicked and evil and hatred. Talking about the heathens with the perpetual hate. You got a perpetual hate as well. Because he said he sent you to the countries that is likened to your own ways and your doings. That's already in you. That's how messed up the mind has to be destroyed. That's why it thinks the way it thinks. It don't think with light in it. It don't think with righteousness in it. It don't think to level. When you see people, these Amish and their family on the land, and they've been doing this and doing that, and having their flock and saving their food, what do you think that he's talking about? The one world system and the control of Satan, because the time that he has given him. Don't you ever think that, wait a minute, if he's given wicked and evil they time period, when I better get all the way right with him. Because wicked and evil is not going to hurt the people in the city. It's going to hurt the people in the county and those in the woods too. It's going to hurt everybody. Because I was thinking even how, say for instance, I plant some food. There still can be the chemicals that they're spraying in the air and pollution that can still taint what you're growing. So that's why he says, seek ye me first and let me cover this stuff. Don't, and if I cover you, don't go telling people you got it all and this is the way you do it, and oh, I got this and I got that. You should do it like I'm doing. No, don't do that, because if I'm keeping you and you know that I'm keeping you. Just give the people what they need so that they can keep themselves no matter where they at, and trust in me. Not keep themselves, turn them to me. Show them how, give them me like you feel you have me. Don't tell them you got it going on. I got that. We doing this. We do. And then make people try to feel that they can't reach where you at. But they don't understand. They telling you wrong. Because they ain't telling you, wait a minute. Ahia has a right hand. He is my protector. As long as I'm seeking him first, anything that I come up on, he's going to see me through. See, this is how they should be teaching you. But instead, they want you to think that if you don't do it the way they said, you're going to be left out there. I heard this one man that, Ricardo, saying, yeah, and I've heard many of Hebrew Israelite men say, these women just don't know. They're going to be out here. They're going to get killed. They're going to do all kind. They're going to rape them. They're going to do all kind of things to these women. So they better try to get a man. That they was teaching that so heavy, y'all, about 2 years ago. They was teaching it so heavy. I mean, telling me I shouldn't tell these women that. That's why these women going to go in and thinking they have to get the type of protection from you all, and you all are not really after to protect them. You know, you're after the same wicked and evil your forefathers were after. and you want them to see you to be something that a higher has not called you to be, nor have you walked in a higher to be that which she should look at you and say that you are. You see, but they was on that so heavy. All these women, yeah, they walking around talking they don't need a man. They gonna need a man. That's the only one gonna protect. No, not you, baby. You're not gonna be the one to protect us. And I start saying I'm sorry, but the Spirit held it. That's the sad thing. I'm sorry for you because you're not the one that's gonna protect us. Once these sisters understand the right hand of the power of a higher, that stretched out arm on the right hand of Yah, you out of here. You out of here. Because that's the true power. That's the one that's going to deliver and keep them, no matter where they at. They can be in the Mississippi River, that hand come scoop them up. Can you do that? No, you can't. They can be out of food. Are you going to be able to do that to give them? Nope, because you ain't working no job. You waiting for somebody else to take care of you. So who going to be able to do it? Yah will deliver it. He will see to it that they have food. No matter what goes down, he will see them through. Don't let nobody take. Did you know faith is the substance of things unseen but yet believed? That's another thing they want to have done away with. Y'all haven't heard about it. Faith. You don't hear nobody talking about faith. Nobody. They don't talk about it. You know why? Because it's spirit and truth. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Faith is spirit and truth. They know that faith is not something that they can teach because they don't have the power to really wrap their flesh wisdom and knowledge around it. But faith is the substance of things unseen but yet believed. Faith is a spirit that a higher has to give you to hold you up in trusting in him. Now, he ain't saying no flesh of no woman, no flesh of no man. Faith is the substance of things unseen. You can't see it, but you got to believe it. That's the trust in a higher. You can't have that faith to trust in man and woman on these devil platforms. Trust in a higher. See, this is where it's at. And if you don't have that faith, he will give it to you. Pray to him that he instill in you the faith. Pray to him that he give you the spirit of endurance. Pray to him for these gifts so they can walk with you in this journey. I think of many of you all that are capturing what I'm saying and capturing it. You will be in that number as far as gathering. You would have to be. Because the things that Sister Deborah is saying is not causing you to draw to me. My words is for you to draw to him. Like Yeshua did. Everything he was saying, my Father, and my Father. What I have is my Father. What I'm doing is my Father. Me and my Father are one. You know, he's just constantly letting you know this mission is really about my Father. And that's who I am. I'm constantly telling you the light, the narrow gate, to thirst for righteousness. You see, spirit and truth, because that'll take you a long ways. Spirit and truth will take you a long ways. Even when you read the word, he'll show you the spirit and truth of what you're reading. Because when the Ruach teaches you, he's teaching you from his spirit, and he's teaching you the truth of the matter of what is righteous and what is truth. You see, we get on here, we talking, we quoting verses. We can't touch the hem of his garment the way he can. You can touch the hem of his garment. We can't. I mean, not we, but you can't touch us the way we can touch him, and you can touch him. I would rather touch him than to touch this nasty flesh on this devil platform. Anybody got any questions or maybe even answers to questions? Anybody have any questions? So, Sister Deborah have been on here. Unless you have any questions or you have any topic you want to cover or you want to speak on, or because I'm going to have to try to turn away from things that leads me to understand the deepness of the pitch darkness today that rests in yesterday, because it makes me see that it's definitely ain't going to change. Even though I believe that it's not, but it's just let you know how bad it is today if it was existing yesterday. Hmm. That's it's like a little scared to that, to know that you mean this is the way it was and this is what it is and it hasn't changed. It's gotten worse. Something to think about. Hmm. So I gotta watch this from the beginning because I missed some of this. What was that you have to watch from the beginning? Because I missed some of this. What was that? Hmm. What was that? So be careful at if you watch videos, just analyze it in spirit and truth. Oh, okay. Analyze the stuff that you hear. Okay, it's okay to watch it because some of it can be confirmation for what you already know. I don't know where their 12 tribe come from, but I do know there has been the children of Jacob. He has 12 sons, and they consider them to be the 12 tribes. And Joseph, two sons were added in, but I do know one tribe, which is Dan. That tribe ain't gonna make it in. Period. It's not even included in the 144. So it got kicked out. So it still leaves 12 tribes because it's not including Joseph, it's including his two sons. So that's where they're getting the 12 tribes from of Jacob's children. Sons. Oh, you came on late. That's what you're saying. Okay, I got you. But yeah, that's where the 12 tribes. But to me, I don't think, to me, this is how I'm looking at it. As horrible as the tribe of Judah is in its ways, let me tell you, if we don't focus on, not we, I ain't gonna say we, I'd rather focus on the tribe of Judah, which is myself and my children and my people that's in the tribe of Judah, than to go over in all these other tribes. Because when you find out how ugly your own tribe is, tell me, what can you say to some other tribe? What can you say to any other tribe? It's so much work that we should have been doing within them 400 years. And now that the time is up and it's finished, um, all we have to do now is just wait on the move of the fathers, or the Father, and the way He's going to orchestrate this here, all this mess that's going on. Who are from each tribe? You said you have the Hebrew Israelite have a chart that lists